Want to make time to do this, and today's topic is all about influence. We hear about it and just want to talk about how you can create influence even if you don't have years in your company or maybe tons of results. My name is Nicole, and I'm a network marketer, and I'm here to help network marketers grow and leverage the internet, as well as just offline strategies, really about improving confidence to go out there and get what you really want, and of course to grow your business in the process. So when it comes to influence, a big to do with what is influence, and I think we also question a lot of times what influence is. And what influence is if you think about the people that maybe have been influenced, or that influence you, usually they get you to think a certain way. If you think about the big influencers out there, or even if it's just people, your friends, they have a way of presenting themselves that lets you think about something differently. And ultimately, that's what we want to do. When we introduce our product or our company or our opportunity, we want to get people to think about something a little bit differently. So I think a big question is just to say, is think about how you want to present what you're offering. How do you want to change people's minds? And it's not about being manipulative, of course, because you have a target market. It's about presenting it to people that you think are going to benefit and that are interested in what you have to offer. So think, what do you want, for the group of people that you're talking about? Think about, what do you want them to know about what you have? How do you want them to think differently? How do you want them to see you or see what you have as better than your competitors? And you have to really know that. It's not about bashing the competition. Definitely don't do that. But you also want to definitely convey how what you have to have stands out, and how the value of what you have is better, would be a better fit. So I think a lot of times it's also knowing, what to say. And I actually recently learned that there's keywords that you can say to develop influence. So power of an influencer, usually some statements would be to involve them. You want to involve them and say, why don't you think about it this way? So it gets them thinking, or you can involve them and say, what do you think about looking at something this way? We did a little, the little template, if you could blank, without blank. So if you could get a certain pleasure without this, you would just say, so what what would you think about, losing weight without having to spend hours in the gym? So you just just by saying, what do you think about, or think of it this way? That's a way just to develop influence, because you're going to be developing rapport. And then based on their answer, you're going to be able to ask another question. And then that's really how you fine tune your message. So you can even say, hey, what would you think about it if you tried this? And a lot of times they might say, wow, yeah, I think that might help. Or what if you, I don't know, were to be able to, save money while traveling, to be able to take more trips with your family? What if you could travel on a budget, but not break the bank? What would you think about it? Or what would that do for your family? So if you really get them to think about something specifically, that will help. You don't want to make it too broad, because you want it to be specific, and just maybe talk about 2 to 3 points. That's a great way just to get them thinking and get them into that notion of seeing what you have to offer, seeing in the positive, being affirmative.